Welcome back. This is a debate that's really going to pick up now because the Congress party is going to push for a mega reservation scheme for the private sector. Not that it's not promised it before, but the manner in which it's talking about it now and the aggression is showing in this whole thing and the fact that it's picking it up in tomorrow's manifesto is a reflection of the fact that this could be one last desperate move by the Congress party before the elections. I raised the question here, Abid Rasool. My question today is A, why didn't you think of this before? B, you have 49% reservations in governments. Jobs. If that has not helped, then how will this help? Thirdly, figures don't add up. You are cheating the people of this country. This is my most important point. 29 million out of the 484 million workforce of this country are part of the organized sector, of which only 11.5 million are employed in the private sector, which is less than 3% of India's total labor force. Do you understand? Only less than 3% of India's total labor force. Therefore, what you're basically doing is Rahul Gandhi is putting a nice big slogan, but Rahul Gandhi knows it will amount to absolutely nothing in terms of real opportunities.
Yeah, Arnab, I will answer.
1 minute. Yeah. Rahul Gandhi knows it will amount to absolutely nothing in terms of mere opportunities. He's fooling, therefore, the youth of a certain section, of a certain community, of a certain caste or background by putting this whole big slogan. Why are you doing this?
Arnab,
why are you doing this? I want you to contradict me.
I will directly answer your questions. First of all, it is delayed because of reasons which are known to you and to this country. The things, how it was going and how the parliament
specified. You've not been able to prove.
Yes,
you blame the BJP.
I'm not blaming. I'm not even taking their party. Why are they getting defensive about it? I did not name their party also. I said how the parliament was functioning, how things
you're blaming everyone else but yourself.
You said opposition.
Secondly, we have provided reservation.
Don't say something and skip away from it. You said opposition.
You take your time and counter it, Nirmala ji. Now, the second point is the youth who have studied, who have come out of the degrees and who have come out of the universities, they need this exposure in the private sector to become better citizens and better pay earners in this country. Thirdly, I would like to put a question back to Nirmala ji on the part of reservation. When you had two judicial commissions which said that the minorities are the backward of the lot and they are even backward than SC/ST, and in Andhra Pradesh when we gave 4% reservation, that too in the OBC without cutting the reservation of the higher upper community, there, why does BJP go to court and fight it out and say that we will not give it when two judicial commissions have given it?
Okay, we're getting a quick response. I think she got your point. Nirmala Sitharaman,
the point is very clear. When we have a survey, they don't accept
competitiveness.
No, hold on for a minute. You yourself have referred to an issue of religious reservation based on religion, and that's what is in the code. No, hold on.
It is socio-economic.
Don't misrepresent the facts.
Don't misguide the country. It is socio-economic reservation, not religious reservation.
Will you allow me to finish now that you've thrown quite a few of misleading facts? First, you said opposition, and in the opposition, BJP is sitting there as the principal opposition party.
What is your position?
And then you suddenly tell me, no, I didn't name the BJP. Don't skip, You've said, you allow me to talk, sir. Allow me to talk. Allow me to talk. Hold on. So you said opposition, then you skip. Second, you talk about a reservation policy in Andhra Pradesh. You brought it in and the High Court rejected. You've gone on appeal. The matter is still pending in the Supreme Court. Let's not discuss something which is so sub judice, but still I will tell you. The point on which
why can't you tell us? Why can't you
the point on which we are talking? The point on which you are. No, hold on, sir. You hold on, sir, for a minute. Even your law minister went to his wife's constituency and gave a false promise which was not even in your manifesto in the Uttar Pradesh elections, talking about reservation, religion-based reservation, which goes against the spirit of the Constitution. So don't divert. Come to the point of reservation in private sector.
You are against the backward.
4 minutes to the debate.
Against the minorities and you do not want
when private sector has just 11.5 million jobs as against 29 million government jobs, what is the point that this party or that party is wanting to go to private sector reservation? I'll tell you.
Because it's a nice
What is
slogan.
the way, if not reservation, let private sector tell me what is the way in which it wants to become inclusive. You see, the whole money of the nation is concentrated here. Once one manager in a private sector gets 5 lakh salary, and another manager in a public sector gets only 1.5 lakh like a professor. Now this private sector holding it for its own few castes.
So I think that's a really restricted, narrow-minded view of looking at things.
No,
Kancha Illiah.
no.
The fact of the matter is there have been several pay commission revisions. Government salaries are certainly going up. There is up to 49% reservation. Hundreds of thousands of jobs have not been taken up.
People in this, people in lakhs. People, there are 5 lakh, 6 lakh jobs.
Can you
packages in private sector.
Do you deny that less jobs are being created, that there's a 2% rise in unemployment, that there are young people out there, hugely qualified young people who cannot pass examinations and find themselves
but
jobs?
You are asking
Will
the
you
merit
now
question.
tell those
you are
people?
Asking the merit question, but the point is let the political parties make the private sector responsible to the society.
Is the question of merit not important? I would say to the Congress party, before the Congress,
where does it stop?
I would say I would say to the Congress parties, Rahul, 1 minute, that before you think about bringing in one more quotas for the private sector, why don't you remove the dynasty quota? That the children of big politicians will get a quota within the Congress party. Do you have the courage to remove that quota first? Remove that quota and then bring in a private sector quota.
Can I respond?
What about people like Janardhan Dwivedi
and pilots and Gandhis and all the other dynasties not get a family quota in the Congress party? Rahul Easwar is taking you on race. Rahul Easwar, 2 minutes on the debate. Rahul.
What about people like Janardhan Dwivedi who came out in open and said reservation is a thing of past? We had high hopes on him. We thought Congress is going through a generational shift. They will stop playing such kind of quota politics. He was giving hope. But, see, again, it is all back to square one. And private sector is responsible. I work in private sector, corporate sector. We are doing a lot for society. And we don't look at caste and religion. We go to poor people. We help them in uplifting. We go to schools. We go to colleges. We help them in education, employment. And please stop giving them fish. Teach them fishing.
Sudhindra Bhadoria, one second.
Make them employable rather than bypassing the question of merit.
Hartosh, do you think the fault is also of the BJP tonight? And of the BSP, which is only criticizing the Congress party but not taking a position on where they stand themselves on the whole issue of quotas? Nirmala Sitharaman has dodged the question 3 times on the Newshour tonight. Hartosh.
Obviously, they will dodge the question. Let me just clarify that there are 2 separate issues we are debating. Reservations in the private sector, I think, is an issue that needs to be considered. You have to look at criteria. You will have to look at procedure. I think the media, for example, will benefit tremendously from looking at reservation. But the question is the method by which the Congress is trying to bring in these reservations. What happens when this becomes a plaything for politics is what we've just seen happen. You look at OBC reservation, the reservation has been announced for Jats, which can never be justified by any criteria that you set up. But which political party has opposed it? And why are political parties today silent? It is the perversion of this kind of reservation that happens when political parties start using it to manipulate votes. That is the problem. Not reservation itself. The private sector certainly needs to consider reservation. It is an important tool in the way we look at our country, in the kind of injustice that exists. I mean, in the media.
I think
what is wrong if they put in the manifesto and put for the electoral debate? That is the only way.
My question is this: if they want to put it in the manifesto, after having been in power for 10 full years,
what is your position?
What is your position?
What is your position? What is your position?
I've clearly said
what is your position?
I've very clearly said wait for a few more days. Our manifesto will tell you. Why should I say it now?
You're going to race with them on it.
The manifesto will say it. But my pertinent question to the party is, why do you put it in the manifesto now, having not initiated
the manifesto because that is what we believe in, Nirmala ji. You try to understand a child from a government school, when he goes to an interview in a corporate, does he get an equal playing field with the person educated from a public school? You need to understand that. A child from a minority community,
Sudhindra Bhadoria's last
education.
Does he get an equal playing field in the public school?
No, 1 second. Do not tell me, first remember there is one thing of procedure. We began the Newshour debate today by the Congress party saying, technically speaking, you can't stop Ashok Chavan from getting a ticket. Well, technically speaking, Mr. Congress spokesperson, you could not have had a quota for Jats because the government went against the OBC panel panel's advice and included the list for the central quota because it would affect 9 states sending 8 crore Jats, with 8 crore Jats sending 226 members to the Lok Sabha. You are desperate to woo voters. That's why you're bringing all these factors in. It's your political desperation. Come on, Mr. Abid Rasool Khan. Sudhindra Bhadoria, will this work?
Well, you see, as far
Sudhindra
as
Bhadoria, will this work or will you race with the Congress?
All this, and we understand, as far as the principal position of reservations is concerned, BSP and our leader, Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar, very clearly stated in his book, Annihilation of Caste, that in order to do away with the caste system, you definitely need to bring in provisions.
Ambedkar.
And these people do not believe in affirmative action. We are the only party and the political instrument which want to carry this whole tradition forward. This is all a lip service by both BJP and Congress.
Ambedkar said do not reduce reservations to a political gimmick. This debate will continue tomorrow on whether that's happening.
Sir, as far as...
And I'm going to come. I thank you all for taking part in debate number 2, debate number 3 on the other side of a short break on the Newshour tonight.